In this video, I will teach you the 5 most important productivity tips for your work. These are the strategies that every single highly productive person uses. And I'm not going to only show you what they are, I'm also going to teach you how can you apply them into your life so you generally see huge increases in your productivity. Let's jump in. A few years ago, I also wanted to help people through my YouTube videos. And my whole day was full. Literally, I had very little time to relax and not do anything. Whether it's creating videos, scripting videos, making thumbnails, tweaking them, and choosing what's the better one. Or I was learning, or I was working out. I was doing something the whole day. I was busy. But I made so little progress to my goals. So my channel was barely growing. And I felt drained. I was frustrated. I was heavily demotivated. What's the point of working this hard if I'm not achieving anything? And one day I stumbled upon this concept, this rule, 80-20 rule. It states that 80% of my and your results come from 20% of your actions. Okay? So 80% of results come from 20% of actions. And only 20% of results come from 80% of actions. That means that instead of doing a bunch of things, whatever your goal is, you should only analyze and ask yourself, what's the 20% of actions that are going to give me 80% of results? And ratio is often even bigger, 90-10, 95-5, or even more. So this concept literally can save you so much time so that you do actually the things that are gonna make it so that you achieve your goals whilst having way more time, also have better social life, better work-life balance, and so on. So this for me was not checking analytics on YouTube, replying to every single comment, tweaking, like making a bunch of thumbnails just to see which one is the best. That's not it. It's making consistent videos and making them better. That's the 80-20 for me. In other words, I learned that doing more isn't going to give you way more results. It's what you do is infinitely more important than how you do something. This is what this rule teaches us very well. I want you to remember this. What you do is infinitely more important than how you do it. So now, literally for any goal, I ask, what's the 80-20? Whether it's religion, whether it's a relationship, you can apply this to every area of your life. So for my work, as I said, it's making better videos, making them consistently. That's it. What is it for you? This is an first action step for you. Do an analysis. It takes a few minutes. It saves so much time. It's crazy. Ask yourself, what are 20% of actions that are going to give me 80% of results? Bonus tip that you do this every single week or every other week so you don't fall into this trap of thinking you're productive, but you're actually just busy instead of actually doing what's important. Again, what you do is infinitely more important than how you do it. So make sure you do this. Okay, that's the first action step. Let's go to the second one. By the way, make sure to stay to the last one to see incredible increases in your productivity and actually adopt all these changes way easier. Last one is crazy. You remember when you were in school? Every month, at least that's how it was in my case, we would get assigned a book to read and answer certain questions. And every single time, the day before the deadline, I would start reading the book, or 2 days max. Before the deadline, I would start reading the book and answering those questions. And literally, I would stay up all night or till 2-3 a.m. at least with my poor mom, and she's shouting at me, she's angry, I'm angry. We're both answering these stupid questions. It was horrible. A lot of stress, me literally washing my face every hour to just stay awake. But the real part is, I always got it done. If I had 2 months to finish, I would get it done last day. If I had 5 months to finish, I would still get it done last day. It wasn't about how much time the teacher gave me. I learned that it was about the deadline. This is literally what Parkinson's law teaches us. It states that work expands till the time that you literally gave it. So if you say that you're going to do some project in a month, you're going to do it in a month. But if you literally give yourself a deadline for 2 weeks, you will do it in 2 weeks. This is the power of deadline. So for me, for YouTube, if I say I'm going to script video in 2 hours, I'm going to do it in 2 hours. If I say in an hour, I'm going to do it in an hour. What is this for you? Literally, this is a question for you. I definitely think you can remember this experience in school. You probably had something very similar. if you even read the books and answered those questions. So today, I literally always try to, whatever I do, I always try to give myself a very tight deadline. And this forces me to work faster and often produce even higher quality work. So this generally makes it so I have way more time for every other activity in life whilst making same quality work. Make you feel awesome. Again, if you don't take action on this, action steps that I give you, nothing will change. You will not see any increase in your productivity. The action steps for you are, now when you did an analysis of what's the 80-20, you want to every single time set a very tight deadline for it. You aren't aware of how much you get done if you apply only these two tips, but let's go more and impact your productivity even more. The third lesson is something I learned from very successful entrepreneurs. I imagine you're selling some product. So you go door to door and you sell doors or microwave or whatever it is, doesn't matter, whichever product. And in the whole day, 8 hours, you do 100 or some 100 something, I don't know. But imagine if you could do thousands in 8 hours. If a million people could see your product. This is what I was doing too. When I tried one business model, I would also send messages on Instagram to people I want to offer my service to. But as I said, I did so little. I learned that you can do more with less by using something called leverage. Leverage, there's more forms of leverage. You can use people. So for example, if I hire others to go door knocking too, so in 8 hours, instead of knocking to 100 doors, if I have 10 people knocking doors for me, I don't have to do anything. They do it. And that's 1,000 doors knocked on in 8 hours. But this is just one step. This is just one way. You also have ChatGPT, AI. You can use that. You can use media and code. If you can program an app and there's a bunch of users on this app or this social media of yours, for example, that's millions of people can see what you offer, literally. Or media, as I said, you can literally write a blog, have a podcast, make videos like the one you're watching right now. Imagine this video gets 1 million views. How many months would you have to knock on doors with people hired to get 1 million views? Okay, now you could say this is unrealistic, but okay, let's say you get 10,000 views, 50,000 views. This is very realistic, and it took you like few hours to create a video and upload it. Like, holy, do you see the difference in this? You have to hire 10 people, and they would have to literally for the whole week go door knocking, and let's say they literally knock on, I don't know, how much could they knock? Let's say they knock on 10,000 doors, okay? Now imagine if you could do that in few hours for free. You don't have to hire anybody. You just create a video and upload it on YouTube. Do you see the power of this? Literally. Now, whenever I do anything, whenever I set any goal, I ask myself, how can I use leverage to accomplish more with less? Literally. Action steps for you again. If you don't change anything, nothing will change. If you don't want to work less and be way more productive, then don't do this. But if you want to, first action step for you is ask yourself, what form of leverage can I use in my work? Is it people? Is it money? Is it media? As I said, making content, having a podcast, creating videos, creating a blog, whatever. Or is it AI? Can I use AI? Literally. Can I develop an app or software that can help a bunch of people? You create it once and helps millions of people. And literally then decide which you're gonna try and experiment with it. See how it goes. See how you can multiply your efforts. Start working smarter. Now the fourth tip. This is such a simple one, but it's such a huge game changer too. Every time before when I would sit down to work, literally I would spend the first 30 minutes, like 20 minutes, to figure out what am I generally actually gonna do. So I had no idea. I was just, in my schedule, I put like deep work or work on my goals. Like for example, work on YouTube. Instead of generally saying, okay, record these videos, script these videos, being very specific of what am I gonna do. This would often make me procrastinate because there was high resistance to me starting because I had no idea what am I gonna do once I sit down to work. This would also lead to me not doing anything that day because of this resistance being higher and not knowing what to do. And even if I did, I would spend 30 minutes or 20 minutes to figure out what am I generally gonna do. So this was killing my productivity. This was making me harder to start working. So I learned that just spending 10 to 20 minutes every single night the day before, being very specific about what you're going to do, literally makes a huge difference. It's so much easier to start working. You get way easier in flow, and you actually don't procrastinate. You're way more consistent in your work, and that's way more productive. So today, literally every single day, I give myself like 20 minutes to figure out what am I going to do tomorrow. And not only that, I also apply the Parkinson's law, the lesson before, so that I set very tight deadlines for every task that I do. So this simple habit keeps me focused, consistent, productive, feeling amazing, very easy to start working because I know what am I going to do when I sit down to work. Again, action steps, okay? This is almost the last one. So first, set an intention to literally spend every single night 10 to 20 minutes for the day ahead. And in that 10 to 20 minutes, you want to literally say what you're going to do that day. Be very specific about it. Don't say work on YouTube, work on this project, work on that project. Say, I'm going to do exactly this. Be as specific as possible. So it's as easy to get into work and start working tomorrow. You want to make sure that you put a reminder, such as alarm or something that you're going to see visually in your physical environment so that you don't forget about this. You want to make this a daily habit. And second, be aware of, is this an 80-20 activity? The activity is going to give you a bunch of results, and set a very tight deadline for it, okay? So with your task, just set a very tight deadline to do it. Quick question, how often do you get distracted when you're working? For me, it used to be a constant. Either my phone would go off, or somebody would call me, or somebody in my environment, people around me will literally distract me, and I would completely forget what I was doing. And also my physical environment was a mess. Literally, my desk was full with a bunch of stuff. It was chaotic, felt like a chaos, literally. Nothing was clean and organized. So what I learned from this experience, I learned that my environment makes a huge difference in how I behave, how productive I am in this scenario. Literally, by improving my environment, it's way easier to become way more productive. And this actually works for every single area of your life too. That's a bonus insight, literally. Instead of trying to change your behavior, trying to change your habits, change your environment. So it's easy to, for example, in this scenario, work hard on your goals, be very productive. And it's hard to not be productive. Now, how do I do this? How did I actually apply this? Well, today, my workspace is distraction free. For example, all the notifications are turned off, all the calls, I can't hear them. My phone is on do not disturb mode. And my phone is also on grayscale mode, so it's way more boring. That's literally when your phone is black and white. My physical environment, I open the window so there's some fresh air in, and a bunch of other optimizations. So you see, I did a bunch of optimizations to my environment, so it's actually easy to work hard, and it's actually hard to not work hard. It's actually hard to procrastinate. I can't go on social media, I can't go on games. My phone is boring. So you see how by changing my environment, don't have to rely on discipline and willpower. Too. That's another bonus of this, because this is how most people go about making changes. They just rely on their willpower and discipline. This is what I was doing too before, but I realized this is a dumb way to do it. Whereas change the environment instead of relying on this willpower and discipline. Action steps for you. For physical environment, you want to make sure your desk is clean and organized. You want to make sure you let some fresh air in your workspace, and you want to make sure that there's natural light. Literally, this is what gives you energy, and makes you happier, literally, and makes it way nicer to work in this environment. For your digital environment, you want to make sure that you turn off all the notifications. Use do not disturb mode so you don't hear any calls. Make sure that you put your phone on grayscale mode so it's way more boring. And you want to make sure that you install an app called Freedom. In this app, you can schedule a recurring session, so meaning it happens every single day at the same time. And in it, you can literally block all the apps, all the social medias, and everything that you will not use during the time you're working. This makes it so hard to procrastinate. If you forget about it, you have a habit of going to Gmail, in the middle of work, or, on some social media or whatever it is, you will just block it and you will not be able to access it. As I said, change your environment. Don't rely on your willpower in this way. So this is the two action steps. You want to change your physical environment and digital. For physical, you also want to make sure your phone is out of your room. It's far away from you, so there's higher friction for you to getting it, and you don't subconsciously hop on it without you even thinking. You just don't grab it and start scrolling. I said, with these tips, especially if you apply all of them, your productivity is going to skyrocket. You're going to produce so much more work, and it's going to be higher quality. I hope I helped everybody. If you're an entrepreneur who wants my personal help with becoming more productive, making more money, having way better work-life balance, and so on, click the link down in the description of this video, and I'm going to personally help you accomplish that. If you found value from this video, like it, and I hope I'm going to give you way more value with all my future videos. So see you in the next one. Bye.